This is going to be my review of living in a haunted house or apartment. Because I know not everyone believes in ghosts, but I do, and I have since I was a kid because I used to live in Suquamish. And Suquamish has a lot of just like ghosts and haunted places and things like that. And so for me, I've been having experiences since I was a little kid. But I'm going to focus on the apartment I lived in from the time I was 8 years old to the time I was 24 years old. That place wasn't all that scary, honestly. Because when you grow up around that stuff, the thought of a ghost can be scary, but when things actually happen, it doesn't seem as bad. Sometimes you get scared, but honestly, a lot of the time, it just seems normal. And you think it's going to be scary because you see TV and you see how scary it is with scratches or with possessions or with things appearing in the mirror and just trying to scare you all the time, throwing things around. But it's not like that. At least not all the time. Because in my experience, I've had multiple ghostly encounters in different places and none of it was that bad. And if I'm to be honest, the apartment that I lived at was calm. I heard little footsteps like a little kid a couple times, I seen the shadow kid like peek around the staircase, and look at me. Then when I went to go look at it, turned away. I heard things falling in my room. I've had a lot of things happen. One time I was in the mirror, or looked in the mirror while I was washing my hands, and I had my phone on like a stool, and I just seen my phone look like it got yanked off of the stool, which was really weird. And I just have a lot of that stuff kind of happen. But all in all, none of it was like really terrifying like what you see in TV. I know some people do have a lot more terrifying experiences. My fiance had a lot more terrifying experiences at her place, But living in that apartment I did, it wasn't all that terrifying. And there's a few times I got scared. Like one time I went to go take a shower, and I heard like a voice in my ear. That was a little scary. But yeah, all in all, it wasn't that bad. It was interesting. Because you didn't know what was going to happen, Give it about a 9 out of 10. Just because sometimes it's just kind of fun to talk about, or sometimes it could be funny. Like that time I went to go take a shower, and I heard that voice in my ear, I got really scared. And it was like one of the few times I actually got really scared, and I just fucking ran downstairs. I like jumped halfway down the stairs, and I like grabbed the railing and like pushed myself off and like flung myself down the rest of the stairs. My dad just stared at me like, what the hell is going on? And he didn't even I don't even think he stared at me. He was just laughing, honestly. He didn't even know why I was scared. He just started laughing at me, and I told him what happened, and he was just laughing at how scared I was. And then turns out I actually did break the railing. When I like pushed myself off, I broke one of the like handles that went into the wall, like support handles, and so yeah, he laughed at me for that. But it's just one of those things where it was okay, and plus it was alright to talk to my dad because he would have experiences he would tell me about. I had experiences I would tell him about. It is what it is, Don't think there's anything there that was trying to harm us. I honestly think a lot of it was just being like, hey, I'm here. Like just trying to show that they're there. Or maybe they're just trying to have fun. Because there's a lot of things that happen. There's a couple times I heard footsteps. There's one time I felt something touch my face when I was trying to sleep. There's that time I heard that voice. There's times I seen the shadow kid peeking around the staircase. There's times I heard knocking on my bedroom wall. And yes, I live in an apartment. However, I heard knocking on multiple walls in my room. I heard knocking between me and the neighbor's wall. I heard knocking then between me and my dad's wall, and I heard knocking in my closet, which my closet doesn't have a neighbor on the other side. It's just a closet. That's it. So there's no reason why I should hear knocking on all the other walls either. There's a lot of different experiences that happen there. Even my dog started barking and started growling in the hallway or up the stairs at just things that weren't there. I don't know, it's weird. But anyways, that's my review. Kind of all over the place, but it is what it is. I don't think a lot of ghosts are really scary. I think, for me, the thought of a ghost is scary. This dead person that is around and can see you, and you can't really communicate with them, but they can just show up and do random shit. It's scary. But at the same time, when a lot of things happen, I don't really get scared. Like even the apartment I live in now, I heard a girl's voice in my room, and I thought it was my fiance because, I was in the room and she was in the living room. So I called down, I was like, "What did he say?" And she said she didn't say anything. So I could have sworn I heard a girl's voice, She didn't hear anything though. Or like, there's one time where my kid was cleaning up before bedtime, and he called my fiance in his room, and I guess he told her that he's seen someone with hair like hers. And she just kind of told him that he probably just imagined it, because honestly, we both think he's seen something, but we also don't want to scare him, because he scares easily, and ghosts are scary stuff, especially when you're a kid. And so, we didn't want to scare him. So he went to bed, and maybe like 30 minutes, an hour later, me and my fiance was in the room and we were talking, and I started hearing knocking. Like, to me, it almost sounded like a panicked kind of knock. It was between our kid's room and our room, and I thought that it was our kid panicking because he got scared. And so I went to go check on him, I went to his room, and he was asleep. He was snoring, dead asleep. And I know he wasn't playing around, because when he's acting, he's honestly a really bad actor and a really bad liar. He can't lie to save his life, because his kind of lying is like, one time he didn't brush his teeth, and I asked him why his toothbrush is dry, and he told me, "Oh, I dried off my toothbrush with a towel." It's like, no the fuck you didn't. You did not dry off your toothbrush with a towel. No one does that. That thing is bone dry. Go brush your teeth. That's his lying. It's not that clever. And he's not that good of an actor either. There's no way he would pretend to snore, because even if he did, he could tell it would be fake. But he's asleep when his head is out of the blankets and he's snoring, and that's him being asleep. Because when he's awake, he has his whole body underneath the blanket. When he goes to sleep, his head is under the blanket, his body's under the blanket, everything's under the blanket. And after he falls asleep, he moves around a lot, and so his head ends up outside of the blanket, and sometimes his arms, sometimes his whole body's outside of the blanket, because he moves around so much. So going in there and seeing him snoring and seeing him just so dead still, and seeing his head over the blankets, he was asleep. So I think that's one thing that was creepy, is hearing that was sounding to me like panicked knocking, only like an hour after our kid's seen something in his room. And to go over there and check on him, and he's dead asleep, and it was weird. But at the same time, I didn't really get too scared about it. I think so much stuff has honestly happened that it takes a lot to scare me in a way. And it takes things I don't expect or things I haven't experienced for to scare me, I guess. But it's not that bad. If you have any ghost experiences, let me know in the comments below. I want to hear about your ghost experiences. Because I do like ghost stories a lot. If you want to hear more ghost stories or just things about ghosts, let me know that in the comments what you want to know, or if you want more videos, and I'll do my best to make more. Because I do have lots of ghost stories, and I can even maybe invite people over to talk about ghost stories too. That'd be really cool. And yeah. I'm trying to get 10,000 subscribers. It'd be really cool to get it by January, but that I feel like that's a little wishful, but it's still a goal. So why don't you subscribe down below and be one of my first subscribers, and enjoy the rest of your day.